Hey Nathan, here's something I bet you didn't know.
Go for it.
Did you know that your car will be the new DUI cop?
Say what?
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of, well, shall we say, hidden legislation in the $1.2 billion infrastructure bill called the Infrastructure Investment and Job Act that just passed Congress, after several months of negotiations that I think we need to talk about.
Yeah, so this is part of a much larger component that has gone in through Congress. And this little part right here, it's interesting because we missed it too.
Yeah, so obviously there's quite a bit of spending to improve infrastructure and, help improve transportation throughout the country. There's one piece that we want to focus on, though, and that is this little piece. And let's get into the details, okay? As of right now, the bill has not been signed by the president, but it is expected to be signed fairly soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and in total, Congress has allocated $17 billion, that's with a B, to road safety programs. But if you start digging into the bill, you'll find that we're going to be focusing on Section 24220, covering advanced impaired driving technology.
And this is something that took us by surprise, and I think it might take you guys by surprise as well. Go for it.
Yeah, so Congress has written into the bill data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and basically the NHTSA, alcohol-impaired driving fatalities, according to the NTH, make up about a third of highway deaths in America each year. So in 2019, that translates to 10,142 alcohol-related traffic deaths where drivers were above the legal limit of .08.
That is correct. And there's a huge number for accidents that didn't result in death, but that are massive car accidents as well.
And here's the scary part, Nathan. 60% of those crashes involved a driver with an alcohol level above .15, which is, it's double the legal limit.
That is correct.
So according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, advanced drunk driving technology can prevent, get this, more than 9,400 alcohol-impaired driving fatalities annually with a reduction of 90%. So basically, we're talking about a lot of lives. This is a big deal.
Okay, so there's the lead up. Now, let's take it to what they are basically saying they want to do.
All right, so the bill under 24220, Section 24220, basically states that, and here's the interesting part, okay, that car manufacturers are going to be mandated to put in a device, and we'll get to that device in a minute, and basically it doesn't define the device, but basically the device says that you won't be able to drive your car if you're impaired. It says, and I quote here, passively monitor the performance of a driver to accurately identify whether the driver may be impaired and prevent or limit motor vehicle operations if the impairment is detected. In other words, Nathan, when this bill passes in 2026 and 2027, we'll get to that, the timing a little bit, auto manufacturers are going to have some kind of a feature in every new car that looks out for drunk drivers.
That is correct. And it will happen at a certain point where these new cars, now this isn't retrofitted, so this isn't going to go into old cars, but this is going to be going into new car production.
Yeah, I think the best analogy would be, how recently they mandated that every car has a backup camera.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very similar to that.
Yeah. And so but it can mean a lot of different things. And one of the problems is this is a little vague. We'll get to that in just one sec.
Yeah, so let's talk about the timing of this. From the bill, it basically says that the Secretary of Transportation is set to finalize rules forcing automakers to equip these drunk driving impaired prevention devices into all their new vehicles within 3 years, or in other words, by 2024. But there's more to this, okay? To allow for sufficient time for manufacturer compliance, the compliance date of the rule shall not be earlier than 2 years and not more than 3 years after the date in which it is issued. So basically, we're talking about either 2026 or 2027 at the latest.
So by that point in time, they will have a device in every vehicle that is sold in the United States that will detect whether or not you're impaired and prevent you from driving.
Now, the Secretary of Transportation can extend that deadline to amend the federal by 3 years if they feel necessary, so it could get pushed back further, but nevertheless, it's coming, and so we thought we should talk about the pluses and the minuses. In other words, in favor or against this. So shall we hit the points in favor first?
Well, I think we need to also discuss what this device could be versus what the technology is today. So Now, for some people who have had several DUIs currently, there is a device in certain vehicles where you have to actually blow into the device, and if it clears, if you don't have alcohol in your system or you're under a certain level or whatever it is, it'll allow you to drive the car. That is something that has been around for a little while, but that's the only device that I know of, and you actually have to blow into it to actively make it work.
Yeah, and it can be retrofitted to older vehicles, but this idea of having to blow into a tube before you can hit the start button or
That's a
turn
hell
the
of a
key,
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
Well,
but
it's strange. I'm sure the car would enjoy it, but the point is that the point is that I don't think it's going to be that. I'm sure you guys would agree. That's something that nobody would put up with. And so it's got to be something else. And this is where it gets really interesting. How are they going to be able to build a device, and how will it work in order to prevent you from driving when impaired?
So obviously cameras now are in cars that actually monitor your eyesight to see if you're, let's say, drowsy.
Right.
And the car can monitor your driving behavior.
Right.
So you could do this without actually having a tube, or
Something in your mouth as you're driving or something like that.
Yeah. And the other problem, of course, with focusing only, and this is from Colorado, of course, on drunk driving is that, we're seeing an increase in people driving high, which is just as bad, but not as detectable as alcohol in your bloodstream.
Correct. And right now, there's different types of devices that can detect different things. It's not like you're going to, pee in a cup and have the car just look at it and go, okay, now you can drive. That, is how you detect people when they're high, I guess. So there's a whole bunch of questions out there, and this is really vague litigation or information, that we don't know exactly how they're going to do tech-wise. Now, there is currently tech on vehicles that if you're driving and you suddenly start jerking at the steering wheel, like if you're having a physical problem, a heart attack or something, some cars can actually detect that. So eyesight and then jerking on the steering wheel, these types of things, perhaps that can help. And then I guess erratic driving in general, a lot of cars can kind of figure out, okay, there was a problem here. So that's all stuff based on the behavior of the driver. However, that doesn't necessarily take into many things into account. One, I'll give you a really good example, Roman. The eyesight stuff, which is available on a bunch of different vehicles now.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very well if you have one eye. I know that sounds silly, like I'm trying to be funny
about
about
sunglasses?
I think that sunglasses are a problem with some of those as well, and I wear sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend who has a patch over one eye, and I asked a few people, and they're like, no, it doesn't work.
Let's kind of jump into other issues.
Yes.
So first of all, this only applies to new cars. So they're saying you can prevent almost 10,000 deaths, but.
Which is notable, and
but all those people aren't driving new cars. Most of them are driving old cars, right?
Right. But eventually, those new cars will be old cars.
Also, then there's a question of autonomy, Nathan, because autonomy could actually solve this. But I think we're far, far, far down the road before we get to full autonomy.
I would love it if I could go and party with the guys and then hit a button and have it take me home while I'm sitting in the back seat and not be a danger to everybody out there. That'd be awesome.
So the stats are pretty staggering. The cost of economic loss for drunk driving, according to certain sources, is $44 billion.
Okay.
That number is probably pretty squishy. And when you think about this really isn't on the horizon for another 5 years. So if these numbers are true, you're looking at 50,000 deaths from drunk driving before this is becomes even implemented. And then, of course, there's a question of how do you do it. But we started this discussion, this news story, by saying your new car will be the new DUI cop.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that? Because that's really the heart of the question. Do you want your vehicle, your next vehicle, basically monitoring your driving? And isn't that something that should be, self-monitored and be based on your own responsibility, not that of a car that you bought that is now kind of feels like Big Brother?
It certainly does feel like Big Brother. I'm not opposed to it because, the idea of saving lives sort of outweighs the idea of a vehicle, But this is my personal opinion. I could see how there would be an argument saying, listen, what if I'm in the car and somebody else next to me is impaired and, it causes issues? Or perhaps the car can actually smell alcohol. Who knows?
It could it could have a sniff.
It could have a sniffer.
I mean, Mercedes, pumps perfume into the air. It could just as easily suck up the
right, and smell you.
Exactly.
There are a lot of questions that have yet to be answered, but in terms of taking away your civil liberties, in terms of taking away, your ability to make this, this is what I've chosen to do. I've chosen to drive through that school completely drunk because it's my right. Or the car says, no, I don't think you should drive through the school and, murder children. I think you should not be driving at all. I get that, and I think that is great. But the other side of it is, a lot of people, I think, are going to say, no, I have the right.
Well, a lot of people are going to say it's the nanny state. It's the state basically.
Yes, exactly. And the nannies and Big Brother looking at you and everything else.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's my point, and it's a very simple one. Dude and dudettes, if you own one of these, Big Brother is already watching you. They know where you're going.
Is that weird? Yeah.
They can hear you talk. These things,
I know.
Sorry, if you're into that, get rid of one of these and then we'll talk. But until then, come on.
So can I make a prediction?
Please.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction. We have not seen this covered. We dug it up. I feel like this is going to become the next cultural war item, right? Because
it will be an issue.
Because you could see pundits on both sides.
Yeah.
One saying, "Oh my God, there's so many people that die," and the other one saying, "This is the nanny state."
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame because it does deserve a thorough and I think thoughtful discussion, right? Because it's too easy to paint both these sides in stereotypical colors. And we were going to initially do this video as a Know You're Wrong, and I thought to myself, no, let's not do it as a Know You're Wrong.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it out there because I think people aren't aware of what is actually in this bill. I mean, it's thousands of pages long,
right?
And this is an interesting topic. So hopefully we can start the discussion in a thoughtful way before the camps get entrenched and people are out there throwing tomatoes at each other and not listening to the other side.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below what you think.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, right before we did this video, I went online really quick and I looked, and Secretary Buttigieg actually has been talking to automakers. So this is something that automakers may jump on early on, just like they did with backup cams. A lot of them were way ahead of the game and already had them or made them available way before the deadline. That could happen with this. So in other words, we might see this technology kick in early, right? Sooner than later, which means, of course, we're going to have to test it. And I say Tommy should do it.
Look, to me, and this is obviously the middle ground that no one's going to like, but maybe it's something that is in a car that you can turn off.
Or you get software that can flash it or something,
but
right?
you see the problem with that, obviously.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood to use this today. Hiccup, and then turn it off.
Yeah.
So, yes, please let us know in the comments below what you guys think. I think there are two sides to this argument, but...
hey, look, maybe you can turn it off, and then if you get in trouble with the law,
then you have to turn it on, and
they can't be turned off. I mean, maybe there's a middle ground here that makes sense.
Yeah. Or if the car thinks you're driving like a schmuck, then it says, hey, you know what, you're taking a time out, and then perhaps that's how it works. We'll see.
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities, but this is the other side of autonomy, right? It's coming, and there's going to be all these interesting kind of questions, and I'm sure at some point a lot of people will make a lot of money arguing either side. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Check out obviously TFL-studios.com for all of our news, views, reviews, podcasts, TikToks, all that is right there. See you guys next time. Ciao.